Hello everyone, we're back again for another epic adventure. Today we're heading out to Darcy Island. At first glance, you might not notice anything different about this place. After all, there's many Gulf islands similar to this that you can visit. But today, we're gonna dig deeper into a part of Canadian history that many would like to forget. On the surface, it may just seem like any other beautiful place in British Columbia. However, this island has a chilling past. Some people even deem this place to be haunted. As early as 1891, people were sent here never to return, and few made it out alive. Come with us as we discover all the secrets this island holds, whether it be past or present. Without further ado, sit back, buckle up, and let's see what we can see. We live in a world of wonder, and it's up to you to find it. The path to life's mysteries is just one adventure away. Specializing in exploring Vancouver Island and beyond, we are Discover Duo.
What are we doing today, Ethan?
We're heading over to Darcy Island, and there's supposed to be an old leper colony over here with some abandoned buildings, and should be pretty interesting to explore. And come with us and let's discover the history of this place.
Finally on our way! We're getting close now. There she is.
It took us about 8 kilometers of traveling to get over to Darcy Island by boat. We'd been talking about doing this adventure for a while, so it was amazing to get out on the water.
All right, we made it to Darcy Island, and it's gorgeous. Check out this beautiful beach. Such a calm day too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
This is the most southern Gulf island. It's pretty close to the Canada-US border on the south tip of Vancouver Island. There's a lot of history on this island. A lot of it, unfortunately, is a dark past. There was a lot of oppression for the Chinese people. There was a lot of racism and judgment against their people. The Chinese people were brought in for cheap labor and treated terribly, isolated to a part of Victoria called Chinatown. Most of them lived in horrible slums. Authorities had been notified that 2 individuals were hiding in a shed behind a business in Chinatown. It was discovered that they had a horrible disease called leprosy. So they decided to make what's called a lazaretto, and they shipped all the people with leprosy over to Darcy Island. Between 1891 and 1924, there was about 40 people that were isolated to the island. With supplies only being dropped off once every 3 months, life was really hard. In total, 18 people perished here, never to return, buried in unmarked graves. It's a really sad story, but it's still neat to come over here and, nod to the past and think about a people that was oppressed and lived on this beautiful place. In remembrance of all those who died on Darcy Island, may this video be dedicated to you, and may you all rest in peace.
I'm hanging on. I'm trying to make sense of it all. Try to understand.
We decided to head out to the other side of the island and see if we could find the remaining buildings from the leper colony. Look at that tree. It looks like it was hit by lightning. This tree was struck by lightning. Old cedar tree. That could have been a lot worse than it was. If you're at the right time of year, it could have lit this whole island up. Check this out. There's a bunch of bones from something over here. Maybe. What do you think? There's a jawbone right there. What do you think that's from? That's kind of creepy. A lot of bones. Well, here we are. Honestly, kind of looks like a dog to me, but it's got a long little pointy snout. What do you guys think this is? So looking at it a bit more, we think it's likely it could be the skull of a deer. That's what we're thinking anyway. It's funny though to think of a deer getting out to this place. They would have had to swim pretty far. Crazy. We're just walking in the bush here and we saw a bit of a dirt pile that doesn't look quite right. There's a bit of a depression right in the ground here. And then when you look on this side, it looks pretty unnatural. There's a bunch of dirt. We're thinking that this could have been a grave for one of the people that had leprosy that passed away. Because I don't think this looks natural as far as I can see. Talking this morning how it felt like the weather was changing and it started to feel like fall. Well, I think this is our official news release. Fall is upon us. We made it to the other side of the island and one thing is clear. It's absolutely beautiful. So we're kind of walking a coastal trail and circumnavigating this little island. We're starting to get pretty close to what we believe was the Caretakers House. And it's one of the few remaining buildings left on the island. In the 1960s, the government burned down all the remaining houses on Darcy Island. But it's surprising how much history we actually found here. For 16 years, the lepers had to fend for themselves, but by 1907, there was a caretaker provided by the federal government, so you can imagine how relieved they were to have someone taking care of them finally. The structure is right beside an absolutely beautiful bay. It's a shame that everyone decided to carve graffiti in it, but it's definitely not a new thing. It's been happening for a lot of years.
Interesting to see the steps are just fully intact, but nothing left of where it was leading into.
So here, just here over on this side, you can see quite a few bricks. So I don't know if that was a back entry to the house or what, but I'm thinking there's a few houses down here. There's another slab over here. Oh, look at this. Come check this out. There's definitely a bunch of rocks back here that kind of looked like they outline a pathway. So what we came to learn is these rocks actually outlined a fence, and we actually found some remnants of this. So So they definitely would have had livestock here. This is an old fence post, and you can actually see some of the rusty nails that would have held the fencing in here. And it's still left. It's pretty cool. Yeah, this is probably about the 10th one we've seen, but this one really tells the tale. Yeah, it looks like there's a bit of a pit. Interesting to see what this was about. There's a pipe going over there. Yeah, I'm thinking this would have been a well, because that's water piping there, and maybe sucking in from this pit. So this would have been maybe rainwater would have primarily filled it, and then it heads right over to the main caretaker's house. So that would make sense to us.
Just followed a little trail from the caretaker's house, and looks like we've got some apple trees here. Green apples on it. Fresh fruit.
What do you say, Granny Smith or what? This tree kind of looks like a huge blueberry tree. And looks like there's a couple of them side by side here. I mean, it's smart if you think about it, because when you're stuck out here waiting for supplies, you know, in 3-month intervals, definitely nice to grow your own products and keep the belly. Take a look at this mushroom. Look at the size of it beside my hand. It's just absolutely huge. So right here would have been some of the old fencing. You can still see it, and they actually would have used this tree as part of their perimeter to keep the animals in. Just here would have been foundation, probably for a house is my guess. But you can see sort of a stone step there, and then some of the concrete slab that the house would have been sitting on top of. So after exploring the caretaker's property, we decided to make our way over to where the actual leper colony was, and it was pretty interesting. So we just located a few more foundations.
So apparently on the map, this is where the leper colony, as they called it, was situated in this area here, and we're just coming across some foundations and some bricks.
There's one foundation here, and then there's a way larger one just to our left. So I think the one on the far left is the one we would have seen old photos of. I guess potentially it could have been this one as well, but this one seems a little bit higher up. This foundation seems to be in pretty good shape. So if you look over here, this would have been where they set the floor system into these notches. There's one there and one there. And they would have had posts running clear across the other side, and then beams going across left and right. Well, I'm thinking that they actually managed to find a way to get water to drain out of that marsh up there. Who knows, maybe they got a little something up here. Doesn't that look marshy, like there's water up here? So right here, you can tell they dug a hole, and then depending on the time of year, water would have collected in here, and that would have been their drinking source, and probably for washing and whatever they needed right here. It looks like they actually diverted water from another spot into this hole as well. So just over there, we just saw a deer hop past. We were not expecting that. Who would have known there's a deer population on this island? I guess it makes sense though when we saw a deer skull earlier today.
So we just found another fruit tree, kind of right over what we're thinking would have been like the watering hole. And it almost looks like it could be cherries. What do you think?
I would say so.
Well, that's it for another adventure. We had a heck of a time on this one, and it was so fun taking you guys with us. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.
Don't forget
To like and subscribe.
we got so much epic content coming soon, and we don't want you to miss out on a thing.
Bye.
Thank